Blimba, Chicken Shamin, Khotai Kim, a whole bunch of other AKAs. The Sobering Podcast, Season 8, Episode...
Yo.
8.
This nigga always skipping seasons,
Yo,
bro.
man, he's in the future. I like that.
And Season 7.
Yeah, Season 7, baby.
Episode 8.
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like
We'll roll with that.
Yeah, there's Peppin for the Lakers, by the way. Next all day.
Laker boys. Yo, it's Big Fred, aka Young Comme des Garçons, cause my heart play.
That makes sense. Gigi to it. It makes sense.
And we got
Yes, it makes sense.
the most stylish guest ever. Ever.
Top 2. This Dale as well.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah, hell
This Dale
yeah.
as well.
Hell yeah, they can share that spot.
They can share it, yeah.
It's good company. It's good company.
But yeah.
I think I'm on record here saying that she's definitely an icon.
Icon.
Somebody that has her fingers in a lot of pies and excels in all of those.
Yep.
It's not like a jack of all trades. It's master of all.
Yep.
You know, we got the Moozlie in the building.
Yeah.
Damn,
Second time.
Is that me?
That's you, man.
No, that's me.
That's you. That's
I love
you.
that for myself.
Second time
Thank
running.
you. Thank
Telling
you so
you,
much.
telling
Yeah, it's been a couple of years, eh?
Yeah, it's been a while, guys. What's up? What's happening?
Yeah, man.
I see you guys sometimes on the streets, at the parties, at the hip hop parties,
man.
you know.
Yeah.
We out
But
here.
I haven't been here in a while. Y'all been out here growing, doing your thing. Shout outs.
Thank you.
Shout
Yo,
outs.
thank you. And you've been doing your thing, and I think that's why I think we gave you that tag, like just seeing you move from your hosting duties to the music to just how you move from a creative directing standpoint. We just think that, yo, man, it's just really high time that we check back in with the moves, yo.
Yeah.
Shout outs. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
No. Pleasure is all ours. Pleasure is all ours. What you been up to? You know, like a young update, the status update for the sober soldiers out there.
Yeah.
Yo, guys, I'm telling you something to hey. If I think about what I've been doing with most of my time, I think over the past couple of years, definitely just like working at Era, growing the brand, you know, getting it to where it is today and hopefully further. Content creating too, still working with brands on that front. But yeah, I'm telling some guys, if you guys want to buy some earrings, like I got you.
For sure. I need some earrings.
I might just get a piercing myself. You know what I mean?
I might just revive my piercings, you know?
Yeah.
You can't revive them. They go. You're gonna have to re-pierce, man.
And what does that mean exactly on a day-to-day basis for you at Era?
I mean, every day is different, which I think makes it exciting for me.
But you wake up and go to the office.
I don't go to the office every day. I'm not going to lie to you. My department is very flexible in that way. You know, I'm the head of the creative department. So every day is different. But I have a few different roles and responsibilities from like, you know, coming up with the campaigns, organizing the shoots, product development, you know, merchandising the stores, the look and feel of the stores, collaborations with influencers, putting together presentations for like whatever it may be. Wherever the look and feel of the brand is needed, that's kind of where I step in.
Oh, dope.
That's crazy because it looked like you were mad busy on the reality show.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah, no, it's really wild. I think Zikle has a really cool way of making things look easy. It just looks like it all just comes together.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've really learned a lot working in the retail and marketing space, as it may be. Also, I worked at Drip. I did a big collab that they did with Fila. So it's been really different. It's corporate, you know. You have to kind of leave the rapper at the door, but also bring her in because she's coming with the dope ideas and the dope vibes, you know. So it's been interesting. A lot of Googling. I spend a lot of time Googling things like, what is this? How do we do? What did that person just say? You know, it's really crazy. But I'm learning a lot. It's been amazing.
That's good.
How was that transition though? Like finding yourself in that space of now learning about marketing and executing marketing plans and creative directing, you know, because we know, you did the content creation from an influencer standpoint as well. But how did you find yourself in that corporate space? What was the transition?
But
like?
even the content creation, like it went a level up.
Yeah.
It went crazy up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Initially, I guess it started with Era and Zinhle. She was just pregnant and hiding her pregnancy and doing too much. And it really just started out as being like, oh, let me just help my friend. But so, and through doing that, she was like, oh, damn, you're really coming with the vibe. You've got some dope ideas. And then I was working with Drip, but just like as an influencer. And when Luka was working on this collaboration with Fila, he just like needed a different perspective, a different vibe. I didn't know what was happening. He just took me to a meeting one day. He was like, just come with me to this meeting. I walk out the meeting. He takes a picture. He's tagging me as the creative director. It's happening. Like, okay. Damn, that's wild, So I've had really good company and people who have allowed me to be in spaces where I can learn. It's also great because you don't actually need to know it all. It allows for collaboration to happen very seamlessly if you don't actually know it all. But it happened kind of seamlessly, kind of like every stage of my career has. When I went from television to music, I kind of had to park TV a little bit and just focus on that and learn and make those transitions. And now it's happened like over the last 3 years with the creative direction. And that kind of took me to the 10-year mark of my career. And I think the next 10 years is going to look like culminating all of those things into one.
10 years, bro.
Yeah.
Sheesh. And it just dawned on me that it really is.
It really is a decade.
Yeah, I've been doing this for a while.
10 years is a long time.
It is.
10 years is a long time. Damn. So in the culmination, are we seeing music back?
I'd love to see music back. Definitely. I think the music, it has to come from an honest expression, especially how the music scene has changed since I put out my last record. I was telling my brother, my gentle brother over here, that musically I'm disgruntled, guys. I don't want to lie to you. It's been a tough year, man, And when you have to create, because my music is very like, I'm a boss, bitch. Got it going on, bitch. So when you're just like, people are dying, I don't know what's happening. I'm so sad. I'm just like disgruntled, And I'm not ready to express myself like in a sad kind of way just yet. But I try. I literally every single month I try get back in the studio and then life will just be like,
just turn back at the door.
Whoa, my baby. Just wait. Real life things are happening now.
It's funny you say that because your last song, I could be wrong, was with AKA Python. Was it your last song?
It's like one of the last tracks. Did it come after the OG project?
I think it was kind of like the same. It was like the same
era,
yeah. Because I made a lot of that music during lockdown. So I did Basadi remix and Python, and those were like two really strong features at the time while I was working on Spirit of an OG.
Sheesh, man.
Damn.
When you think about it, because Spirit of an OG, like I know you're saying like your music is very, I'm a boss and whatnot, but it had a very positive feel to it. You know what I mean? You had a lot of motivational songs on there. So it's like I'm just also wondering in terms of what direction are you going now in terms of music, and when you're attempting to making music, what's the sort of energy that you're going into that space in?
I think one thing about me is I always use my platform. I don't intend to do it, but when you live like a Christ-based life, at some point you're just going to bring it back to the Bible, like some way, somehow. And I think you hear that in my music when you say it's motivating.
100%.
It's not like gospel hip-hop just yet, but like it really just takes you back to a level of like, uzoba grand, Don. Like, uzoba grand. Just keep pushing, just keep fighting, uzoba grand. So I think that's, I'm as faithful as they come. I trust God. I love God. Don't know
Shout
what
out
the
to
fuck's
OG,
going
the
on
greatest.
right now, but I trust you. But I think my faith is also right now in a space where it's like, I just need to do it for myself first. Like, I just need to pour into my own cup before I can come out and say, everything's gonna be all right. Because right now, I'm just like, hi guys. There's a lot going on.
That's crazy. Because when you say that, right? Again, rest in peace to Super Mega, but you looked like such a strong pillow throughout that time. You know what I mean?
Throughout the time of like the events that followed his death.
And even like when you were hosting at the memorial, you you seem like such a strong pillar and somebody that a lot of people, I would imagine, leaned on you.
Yeah.
You know, so when you're saying that, like, you want to be okay, but it seemed like you were a crutch for a lot of people. That's what it seems like. I'm not sure
From
if
the
that's what it
outside,
was,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's really what it looked like.
You know, that was like the first of 3 deaths that have happened for me this year. And there's just something about the spirit and essence of Keenan that just made me like, I gotta just hold this down, you know? And I think that's always the relationship that I had with Keenan. We weren't like everyday besties texting or whatever, but like we always knew like if he called me, I'd pull up.
Yeah.
If I called him, he'd pull up, you know? So it was sad, it was heartbreaking, but I think it was also a way for me to grieve. You know, it was a way for me to just keep going, keep moving and make sure everybody's okay. I remember like when we were at the graveyard, we just cried so much. And I was just crying because we're leaving Keenan there, crying because there's no more tea. There's no, like, after this, it's done. There's nothing I can do. I just have to deal with this thing, you know? So, I mean, that was the first one. And then a month after that, it was Costa, which was really difficult for me too, because Costa and I had the same management at some point. So I saw him, like, this guy was in my living room talking about things. And a year later, he was gone. Like, gone isn't like in way, goopy, like gone, like manifestation, like dreams come true type thing. Like, that was really crazy to see. And then the next year, he was actually gone, you know?
Yeah.
And then last week, I lost my cousin. So it's just like, you know, the Keenan I could still be okay and still be strong and just hold it down because that's also who he was as a person. But like after some time, you're just like, it gets taxing, you know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm so sorry that you have to go through such, man.
Yeah.
It's like because that thing is like it's discombobulating. I think that's the word that you
It's
used.
what?
Discombobulating. It was Shapa Deezy, ding dong, Joe. Like,
What's happening at the disco?
It's discombobulating.
I've never had that one before.
You've never heard the word discombobulating?
Discombobulating, no.
Really?
But doesn't it sound like what it means? Like you're discombobulated right now, just trying to figure it out.
Oh, really? As in along, like flabbergasted or what?
Befuddled.
But it's more like just shook up, like,
Oh,
you know?
Oh, okay.
It's almost after like a physical thing, even, you know, like
I'll
sometimes like, when they
discombobulate.
punch you, you discombobulated.
Disco.
Yeah, man. But I'm glad to see you like in this period after these knocks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I mean, grief is just something that nobody can explain, like, and nobody can prepare you for. But it's really a marvel to see somebody that still sticks to their faith and then that still shows up, like, you know what I mean? And then you still have these goals that you're still trying to achieve as well. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what we wanted to also check in with you. It's like, yo, man, this person's been showing up so much. I'm sure there's something huge that she's also building up to as well. You know what I mean? So it's just like, what's Nomuzi busy aiming at right now besides selling earrings and swagging out all the time? What is she building towards now?
Well, just getting out of bed, really. Yes, getting out of bed on
That's
a
the
day
biggest
to day.
mission right now.
That would be great. But I wouldn't lie, like I've always been this big picture, what we're building up to type thing, but I'm just really taking it one day at a time, you know, hoping to get back on television. I've been having like a few really positive meetings around that.
Dope.
So that's something that I'm excited to do with my producer hat on, because
Nice.
I also haven't been on TV for so long because there's actually no TV show that I want to do.
Yeah.
Like, TV sucks.
Hectic.
It's just boring.
Damn.
Whoa.
Crazy.
Heavy statement.
Tell us how you really feel.
It's boring. It's really, really boring.
What are you looking to do? How are you looking to change that?
I think I want to get back to the TV that like we came up on, because you'd always walk away from that feeling like you learned something that you can implement into your own personal journey, you know?
wanna bring
Even
back
if it
Soul
was
City.
as funny. No, not Soul City.
Soul Buddies. Soul Buddies.
But
The
like,
youth need that. We need Soul Buddies.
Take 5.
yeah.
Take 5
Bro,
and
did you guys watch Iso?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
watching
no,
it this
no,
morning
on
as well.
Netflix.
I Aye, it's brilliant.
But that thing is so dark, man. Like,
No, the thing is, you were
Dark
told
is in
that.
like
You were
the
told
grading
that
or
it's actually brilliant.
story.
it's dark.
The grading is like
No, the story.
But Joe, it's some hood shit.
I
dude.
know it's some hood and real shit.
It's some hood, like that's some real classy stuff.
But in the era that I'm in right now,
You don't want to.
I can't
No
take
pun
the
intended.
darkness.
Yo, and you know what's crazy?
I can't
Nothing's
take the
changed.
darkness.
Like the hood is still like that.
Down.
The hood is still like
for the
that. Like
most part,
watching that
yeah.
show felt like I was visiting. My mom's a teacher. So actually that show felt like I was just like visiting my mom at school. It was like, yeah, fairly. Like, okay, there were a few things that were quite hectic.
Yeah.
That obviously didn't happen in her school. Her school was great. But like, hey, Joe, that's the hood, yo.
Damn.
Man,
That's
like I
really,
say,
really
man.
the hood. Like, that's the hood.
I'm watching it now because my Zulu is a bit better now. You know, I can understand a couple of things. I'm not watching with subtitles.
I always watch the subtitles. Like, I
I'm
know
not-
ways,
also, you
man.
know,
I want light
Netflix
shit, dog.
subtitles are dizzy, you know.
Trust me, I be watching
Sometimes.
South Park, dog. Like, I'm sorry, like
Yeah,
I can't.
That's very girly.
South Park.
No,
South Park.
like subtitles.
Yeah. No, it's true. My lady got me used to subtitles as well.
Why are subtitles girly?
I don't know. Girls just love subtitles.
But you know, subtitles, you learn a lot of words. Like, that's why you learn words like discombobulated.
I don't think that
And also
subtitles.
seeing them, I think seeing them also kind of imprints them in your mind a bit more.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so there's the TV stuff. I'm really hoping to get back into that. I was in studio with Lunatic. There's a record that I did with him that I really, really love that I'm actually going to put out. So I'm excited for that.
Dope.
Hopefully at the end of May, that'll be out. And that might be the start of like,
Another music run.
Yeah. Because I just need to get back in the water, man, you know? Just need to get my feet wet and
Just
get
testing
back
out
in
the
the
temperature.
water. Yo.
So you're still vibing with music. Music doesn't suck.
It's an expression. Music definitely doesn't suck. I love music. I think I also have a very unique and interesting voice and perspective.
Yeah.
People want to hear what I have to say. You know, whether it's on the stage when I'm hosting, whether it's on a beat, people actually care what I have to say, you know? And people always ask me all the time, how can you keep on in Pella Black? My music people are like, does people? Like they know me from like that. So like, can't you keep on in this kind of queen? Like, you know? So there's a demand. I really gotta act on it.
It's kind of queasy. So now that brings me to the question in terms of what does Nomuzi's music world now also look like? You know, because like you mentioned, people that know you from the dust, and also you mentioned something, and I don't know if it's like if it was Costa departing from management or you departing from management. You said at one point you and Costa shared the same management. Why don't you share the same management anymore?
I'm no longer with SBR Projects.
Yeah.
I think Costa was still working with him at some point, but like I'm just no longer with him anymore.
Yeah.
I think musically, what does it sound like? It's definitely still dust. Like there's a dust element, but it's like a more merged version of like boom bap hip hop beats with like kwaito. I'm a very old school, very nostalgic type of artist, you know. So the sound is definitely still there. Just fresh hood, like Sunday, like kasi, like cooler box, like that's my vibe. Like that's musically like just relax, like we fly, see fresh, phetha abantu bethu, impilo i-right.
As Jolene nabo abangani
Just practicing my
I feel like
Zulu.
that's where you were going, because you know when you know certain terms and languages, siblomile as Jolene nabo abangani bethu. I thought that's where it's gonna go.
I might have to write that down.
Yeah, but I just want to say, like, give you your props. I mean, Ricky did it as well. Just a beautiful measure of flamboyance and township. You know, I feel like you do that very well. Where it's like you can still be north or whatever, sound and look north and whatever, and then still feel like hood and still feel like dust at the same time.
Yeah.
Like you do that very well, and like,
Yeah, I remember when I was first starting out as an artist, I didn't have like artist development per se, like where there was a timetable, but just spending a lot of time around other artists like Mai and even the North Guard to a certain extent, because he was really just dabbling with the dust. Like he could come with us to Soweto and then like still be that Fresh Prince guy. And he was okay. He was accepted. Nobody thought he was to this or to that, you know? So he was like, my E and Liz really like drilled that, yo, like we still from South you know? In my head.
Hectic, man. That just reminded me of that 6 a.m. joint. I love that joint.
Yeah.
6
Yeah, I think my intro on that verse is like, it's like, yo, still not that cool. It's kind of cool. It's new Age MaBrrr. 740 fees riding with North Jesus. You joking.
I love that joint, man. That's
joking.
That's like, it was a Les joint, nah?
Yeah,
it was on North God. I love that album, man.
Yeah.
North God. North God, come on the show. But
North God.
Man,
yeah, please.
Like we're saying, man, like that the way that you merge that is like second to none. And also the fact that you've never shied away from always telling your story, whatever you're going through, you know what I mean? And there was sort of like a full circle moment when we were at Bacardi, you know what I mean? And knowing that you've had your spats and disgruntlements with Cash Time at the time, you know? But then when it was time to introduce KO on the stage and just give him his flowers, you did that so adequately. Like it was like such a beautiful moment to witness because he had taken us through this catalog and then you were also just like, yo,
no, it's
please
crazy.
understand who this man is, you know what I mean? And in terms of that just made me wonder, like, what is the relationship with a Nomuzi and the KO at this point in time?
I'm not super duper tight, but like mad love. I think we're in a much better place. Also, having been on my own journey, especially independently, I can understand a lot more things differently. You know, I think when you're a young artist, you're just like, you know, and you don't really understand the small nuances of why some things happen the way that they happen. There are still things I would think could have been settled better or differently or whatever the case may be, but it's really so far gone. That's the GOAT. He put me on. It's undeniable, you know. Like that's the GOAT, you know. And I think in that moment, beyond just like really trying to put him on, it was crazy for me because he does this thing where he says, when I say tear, you say gas. When I say cash, you say time. When I say Skanda, you say world. Stop! The errors.
Yeah, he did
That's
that.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dog. That's crazy.
It's like that Bacardi said was like fire.
He was too much. It was too much. He's really the GOAT. Like even just what's happening now, you know, God always gives him his moments because he deserves them. He works hard for them and like props to him. He has all my love and respect.
Probably the king of reinvention, that guy.
Right? Yeah. And I come from that school, you know. I came up and people like that, so I'm going to be here for a long time, okay?
Get comfortable because I'm going to be here a while.
I ain't going nowhere, okay?
And outside of KO, the rest of like your past label members, I know you said you met up with Lunatic, who was also quite pivotal in that time. And then everybody else, Kid X and... Yeah.
So Lunatic is like, I always say he's my Lozi's favorite producer. Like the Young MaBrrr. Young MaBrrr just wants Lunatic. Like, Lunatic. So Lunatic is always a standard staple. And then with Lunatic, obviously comes Kid X. He's like my Lozi's best friend. You know, anytime me, Kid X, Lunatic, it's like, done. You know, so X is always like, and we're close friends. His wife makes a lot of my outfits. She's an amazing designer. So like we're also growing and interlinking and networking.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Muggs is the GOAT forever. Always love him. Still as elusive as ever, but that's what makes him who he is, you know. And he's writing, so he's actually doing a lot of writing for artists, so I'm hoping to engage him in that way too. My Easy Does It is always going to be my Easy Does It to me forever. I'm also very good friends with his lady. So we all see each other around. Like, it's really cool. Nice. Like, it's dope.
That's beautiful.
Damn, that's dope, man.
That's very cool.
And you mentioned writing. I know it's like, and you just said, Muggs, you hoped you could engage him in that as well. But on the last album, you had a lot to say about people that had Ghostwriters.
Yes, I did. Show me change.
Because I wanted to say, between the era of eras, you seem like you're in a very peaceful era right now.
I'm in a very peaceful era, bro. I'm in such a peaceful era. I've grown so much. Like Spirit of OG was 2020. So much has happened since then. And I think that's why I have to be very cautious when I tap into my dark side when I'm creating. Because like sadness can get bad. But my angry side, bars, fire, but somebody's going to get shot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Somebody's going to get shot. And I think that's kind of what happened. That's kind of like what you're referring to.
Who was that bullet for? Did that bullet have a name?
No,
or
that bullet,
was it
like...
just
Can you clear it up?
Because everybody had names for that bullet.
Yeah. Okay, so everybody obviously thought the bullet was for Boity.
Yeah.
But I was really just mad at Bash.
Why?
So it did have a bullet. So it did have a name.
So it was pretty much Boity then.
And
Just
the thing
collateral
was,
damage.
and that's the thing. It's like you can look at it, and at the time it was just like artistically it makes sense and it's great and it's bars and it's facts. So like it's okay. When it's just like what makes the punch is the asshole in it, you know?
Okay.
And I think in retrospect, there's absolutely no reason for you to be mad at somebody and make your point by killing somebody else, you know?
Yeah.
Somebody that you are cool. If it's somebody that you don't know and it's like whatever, then fuck that person, whatever, you know? But me and Boity were always cool. So that was just like, my sister.
She was like,
which hip-hop level is this one?
Yeah, that's the 50 Cent moment.
You know,
Yeah.
which hip-hop level is this one? But so much has happened since then. Like, we're all cool now. Like, me and Bash had a conversation. Because what happened was me and Rouge jumped onto the Basadi remix with Dumitladi.
Yeah.
Rest
And
in
then
peace.
Bash, R.I.P. Dumitladi. And that was my boy, dog. Like, that's my nigga.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So then Bash now goes on Twitter and he's like, female rappers need to stop doing remixes with these what. In our conversation, he was referring to somebody else, another song that I don't know about. But the timing of it was when we were about to drop our record, you know? And I'm like, bro, you my nigga. You could have just slid up on my story and said, hi, friend Cap.
Yeah.
Or, you know, that's how I was hearing it. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You will go down and your whole house will burn.
Damn.
You know? Then the situation now gets tricky because Reason is on the track.
Oh.
Reason, obviously very affiliated
Yeah.
on that side. So it gets awkward for him. But now it's like, you were there in the studio. I kicked you the verse. What are you
Yeah.
talking about? You didn't
Was
say
it an
anything.
issue now?
Babe, Reason said, lawyers, let her, my sister, take the song down. I don't want to be a part of this mess. I don't want to be involved. Take me out.
We didn't hear this part.
What?
I didn't hear any of it.
Because for the longest time, I also thought it was. I'm probably going to be so spicy. I thought it was Neither Bay as well because, like.
No, I don't even think Nate was out like that by then. I don't think Nate was out
I just thought it was
like
just
that by then.
it was just a shotgun approach in Jig.
Yo.
I write my shit, y'all.
No,
Y'all ain't nice
that
as
was
me.
very like, yo, nigga, like, don't you dare come tell us what we should do or not. This is at the time. I repeat, we good now.
Yeah,
you know, everything is okay now. But I'm just trying to give you context of what was happening at the time. So this whole thing now is going crazy on social media. Reason is upset. He's like on the song. He bought me the beat. He got it from Hope.
Yeah.
He bought me the beat and he's like on a Hope type
Shout out to
situation
Hope
on
as
the
well.
song. Shout out to
Yeah.
Hope. Now, also Hope is in this thing because he's good with Reason.
Shame,
He's
man.
good with me. He wants to work with Boity. This whole thing is just now so complicated. Reason is mad. Nah, you have to clear me. You have to clear me. I'm like, bah, I ain't clearing shit. You were there in the studio. We had to clear the Pro Kid sample. You signed the shits. What the hell are you talking about? You know? Bro, they said, let's have now Africori is being told, Gucci, my sister, we need to take the project down.
Bopa.
Bro,
Everyone are bending.
let me tell you what I then do. I'm like, Hope, my brother, please tell ungivulele i-beats lapha at the end. Now a Reason. Remove your vocals. I get petty. Like when I'm like rap petty. When some find some Pro Kid clip of, hey, what's the reason from some interview Reason. Put another verse on there saying, even you Reason down. Everybody down. Everybody just down.
This interview just went.
No, like everybody down. Like down. I don't care. All of you burn. And that's why I don't like to create from an angry place because that's not really who I am. You know? I've since then had to do an apology tour, and not an apology tour, like a real sincere level of like, oh shit, this is real life and these are my people.
Yeah.
Like we're all in this space together. There's no reason for that energy. It's weird for too many people. Like it just doesn't work, you know?
Damn, man.
So how did that get sorted out though? Like, was it conversations or is it?
Yeah, I think
Thank you.
a bash and reason we really got right after Ricky died. I think Bash and I actually had a conversation at Ricky's house because he was close with Ricky. I'm close with the family. So like nothing, it was so stupid and irrelevant at the time.
Yeah.
We were able to just sit down and like really have a genuine conversation and like squash that. Reason gave me a call, but like Reason, you know, he's really my friend. Like he's been my friend for such a long time. When Lute and I were good, like, you know, we were like Miss Buddha, Lute, Reason, we were like, that's really my homie. So that was a difficult conversation to have, but we squashed that. And then I ran into Boyti at some spot and she was just like, like now we have to greet each other, like, and it's like post-COVID, it's easy to like take shots when you're in the house.
It's free.
Now we outside.
We
bitch. We outside. Now we outside. Now what? What was you saying? You know? So then I was just like, babe, oh my gosh, this is not the right place, but we're gonna talk and I'm sorry. Like just walk away, just knowing that I'm sorry. And she was really cool. I then sent her some flowers, wrote her a letter, and you know, we've been cool ever since.
That's nice.
Moozlie, man.
I'm a big beef squasher. Like, I just also don't know how to do it. Like, sometimes if I'm angry on the day and the beat is nice, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. But generally speaking, I'm really like, I'm such a peaceful person.
Do you know what I'll commend you about though? If it was someone else, that story when it was happening, the tweets would have gone crazy.
Yeah.
They would have been like
you just
throwing
win.
everywhere. Yeah, you just like, you did nicely. You even did it on the song. Like, you know, if whoever catch it.
Yeah.
But you didn't go on like a rant on something, and this guy, you know.
Yeah, no.
I commend you on that.
I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do it like hip hop.
Yeah.
Like hip hop.
Yeah.
Also, my mood and spirit over OG was very like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, yo.
4/4 beat.
Like, yo, hip hop, dog, you know?
I didn't know me for a loop.
Yeah, this story like it's just like.
But it's also true to form in terms of why I admire Moozlie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And handling that. Just from a rapper spirit all the time, even from like the first project when you were burning down the Cash Time Life. You know what I mean?
I
When you were
listened to
doing
that song the other day. That's crazy. And that also was complicated because just because of the way it was written, it sounds like I'm going straight for the God.
And it
I would
wasn't.
never go for the God.
Yeah.
I was just trying to fry lame ass scholar.
How's that relationship?
that's still-
Non-existent.
So can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Like-
How come Scholar is still non-existent?
Because Scholar was very disrespectful. Like, and a lot of people in the game want to like look at it as, oh, he's assertive, he's what? You rude, bro. You're disrespectful, and that's not right. Like, don't talk to me like that. I'm not fucking you. I'm not your child.
Yeah.
Like, you're not my father. Relax. Like, to this day, we still not cool to this day. Like, there's artists in the game who have called me on the phone to be like, yo, why didn't you tell me that this nigga is such a vulture? I'm in a situation where I'm like, now stuck. Like, yo, that guy is wild, bro.
Oh, I was going to ask
Wild.
what it's going to take to get.
I was also going to ask the same question.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Nah, it would really, like, I'm okay with really take like a super sincere, peaceful apology. But I'm like, I don't hate a lot of people because I'm very, what would Jesus do? But there's just some people, bro, you just need to put a star next to their name and say, okay,
When?
I love you. And move forward.
Damn, man.
Damn, that's crazy, man.
And it's always complicated because the people that you are like, cap, other people are like, yo, that's the guy. Yo, the game is crazy. So if you are not mentally just, okay, now you're going to be mad at Fred Packer because I told Fred Packer that I don't fuck with Scholar, and then after this interview, he went and had lunch with Scholar, and now I'm mad at Fred. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you really just have to make your own decisions for yourself.
Because that's not a far-fetched thing. I might just have
That's what I was about to say. That's what I was like, still, with that said, shout out Scholar.
Because I mean, when we were crazy in lockdown and what's that thing? What's that
Clubhouse.
app? Clubhouse was the thing. Like every Mondays, me,
Scholar.
Kito, Scholar, we in rooms. You know what I mean? So You know, different experiences.
Different
Our experience is different. Yeah.
Different experiences. And God will also bless people you don't like. Yeah. So I pray. Like, I pray he gets his blessings. So I know God is real.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Man, Moozlie, man.
Yes.
That's mature. I like it.
No, but I really can't. Like, nah. Not him.
I mean, no. I know it's not even like right for me to go there. But now it begs the question: now, what is happening? I know you say it's disrespectful, but if you're still this tight about it, what is happening?
No, because shout.
Oh.
Like, because shout. It felt like this is a campaign. Like, hey, the bus is leaving at 5 o'clock. And it's like, okay, we got it. Like, and it taught us discipline and being on time and shit. But see, badala. And not only that, we're the fucking gods. This is fucking Makazini. What are you saying? This is my easy does it. Are you mad?
I feel you.
Are you dead, Chris?
I feel you, but
Like, bro, I just came from MTV. After this, I got an Adidas billboard to shoot. I'm just here for now. I don't need to be doing this with you.
it's true.
Like, no, my baby. It felt very schooly.
I was
Like,
about to say.
His name
it
is
felt
Scholar.
very.
Drill sergeant.
And that's the thing.
Scholar, yeah.
And no, like this, like maybe not even at Cotton Fest, bro. This is not high school, like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, this is not high school. We're working and we were all bringing money to the table, like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yes, maybe KO was moving the most, but everybody was pulling their weight. We all held the team down. Like, KO was definitely that dude. He was fire. He was amazing. But the squad, though,
Yeah.
when he pulled up with the squad, though,
It was a
like,
real deal.
bro, like Cash Time, that whole thing was like,
What's your favorite takeaway from that era of you?
I think just like the camaraderie and the dust.
Yeah.
Because that's like been nonstop. It was a cultural phenomenon. Like,
Dude.
you kind of had to be there. And even if you weren't there, like sometimes I'll just be at the robot and see like a guy walking past in a
Cash time.
bootleg Cash Time. And you're just like,
Bootleg has to be.
yeah, bro, the bootleg shit was crazy.
And the bootleg level was another one.
Dog,
dog.
you know what's crazy when bootleg is like bootlegging your shit.
Yeah.
It's
No,
When it-
that
when it
thing
had
was
really
crazy.
in Nigeria, it was getting bootlegged.
Yeah, no, Cash Time was really crazy. And like, people won't even know the amount of work that went behind. Like when we did the tracksuits, guys, I was kind of queen driving the van to Pretoria to go drop off the tracksuits at Shesha. My Easy Dozen was running that whole thing. Like, but people won't cover it like that. They just think, hi, you guys are cool. Everything comes
remember
together.
the other
We
ones
were
from-
using our hands, our sweat and our blood to make that thing happen.
Damn, man.
Damn, man.
Like we were really pushing, like we was trapping. Like we were really, really trapping. Like we were moving
You
numbers.
guys should make a
I was
documentary.
about to say, it's like, yo, man,
Because
this is a story.
it's such a dope story.
And it's a rich story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's such a rich story. And it's just a shame that a lot of people won't get to hear it unless
Unless you guys
people talk to them like this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really fire and admirable just to think about like how big everybody was at that time and they're
But they
still
were
getting
still-
their hands
They're still,
that dirty.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, down to even Zinger, like, he was like even pre like Cash Time the way, you know, like her Cash Time, hers kinda, it's like not even Cash
Yeah,
Time.
him and
were
X kind of set it up for the rest of us to come in.
You
Yeah.
know, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, no, it was a time I loved it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. No, look, shout, it's fine.
But
It made for funny stories, you know? It really made for funny
so
stories.
are you the only one that got mad at the shouting? Or does anybody else take it as personal?
You're the only one who got
No, the
mad
thing is,
publicly.
like, you're not gonna push it that far with other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you're only gonna tell my Izzy does it to a certain level before he reminds you, go to ganda ganda, relaxa. You know what I mean? And I think for me, because I had that pushback. Like, Max is not gonna fight you, dog. X is not gonna fight you, dog. But me, I'm gonna why? Hey, hey, and it doesn't work. Nobody is gonna like hear each other out, you know?
I wonder what a zinger and a screaming scholar sounds like as well.
Yeah.
Zinger is also somebody.
Yeah. Singer is another one.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. I think for me, the actual breakdown in the relationship was when there was no contracts, which in retrospect, was a blessing in disguise. And I think that's why I actually can thank KO, because he wasn't selfish in that way of just like trying to lock people down or whatever the case may be. So there were no contracts in place, meaning everybody could do what everybody needs to do, but just be committed to the team. Which I was. I changed my whole life for the team. Like I really I put my life on the line for that shit, you know?
True.
And then I do this, and I've been working with Adidas, building towards this moment. Every show I pull up in full Adidas, like the whole time. Not once did that man ask me, "How, my sister, we're only paying you 4,000. What's going on with the Adidas combos?" He never asked me, not one time. He sees me on an Adidas billboard. Well, we actually contributed to you being cool, so we feel like we should get a
360 way.
So that's where the ish lies.
Excuse me? Who do you know at Adidas? Who do you know? Who do you know? Who can you call? What have you done?
Damn.
Like, get out of here. Get out. And I wasn't even actually like, get out of here. I was like, okay, cool. I'm glad we're actually having this conversation. Kikupa contract. Kikupa contract. So that we can clear these things out. That contract never came. And I was subsequently dropped from the label. And the way it worked out, people wouldn't know. People just, it looked like it was this moment of me taking on the world, being independent. No.
So you got dropped. I thought you left.
My nigga, I was down for the team. And I'm not a fader. Like, I'm really not a fader. Like, I'm a hold on to the end. Like, I'm a really like see the thing through. Like, oh shit, okay. But when I'm out,
it's a wrap.
And when I move, like I move with God's grace. Like it's another level of just shine where you can't stop it, where it just seems like that's exactly the way it was supposed to happen, you know?
Yeah. So 4,000.
No, we used to get like
monthly
these.
or weekly?
No, like for a show, and all the shows were different, you know? And we did a lot of like door deals. For some shows, you wouldn't even get paid.
Makes sense.
You know?
Exposure.
And it was kind of difficult for me because it's like, okay, now the whole crew has a show in Bloemfontein, but like I'm shooting in Joburg. Now I gotta get myself there and I'm not getting paid and I gotta make sure I'm back in time for the next shoot, but like I gotta be there, you know?
And we're not Lem Squad, come on.
Bro, like I don't think you guys understand how much money I've spent on just trying to be a rapper. It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. Shout out to the 4,000 though.
I knew the niggas will really just hop on
I
my
was
portal.
blowing that shit at like Lovisa or some dust.
Come on with some chains.
Go
Come on
to
with
the
some
Era
rings.
store, forget about Lovisa.
Yeah. Damn.
Forget
But you
about
was balling at
Lovisa.
Lovisa, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
and the thing is, it all coming. I've always wanted to be like this jewelry person. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I've always just been that crazy. I think it also came from being bald-headed. Had to accessorize myself in different ways, and jewelry was always the thing. So it's cool that it's kind of come around in this moment.
Damn. And that's, I mean, I just want to tap into, you kind of was like a big part of your career. And now also with SBR projects, also was another big one.
Yeah.
And now it's the first time hearing that you're not even there anymore. Yeah. So what's the move like? And with Moozlie going forward, what is management looking like? And also why it looks like it's something that has worked for you for so long. Why the departure now?
It was really a great thing at the time. And I think if it wasn't for SBR projects, I wouldn't have been able to move so confidently, independently, you know? When I started Nomuzi Mabena music, nobody was doing that. This was like before Ambitious and people leaving and doing their own thing. Absolutely nobody was doing that. It was just like, why would you have a record label? I don't think people even had that understanding of what is a record label, what does a record label do, and why do you need to be a part of one, you know, in terms of releasing your music, publishing, distribution, all of those things. So Sabura really definitely unlocked me in that way. And we had an amazing run. It was great. But we've reached the end, dog, you know? I think it's really time for me to try to culminate all of these things in my own way, and I need to kind of be the spearhead of that movement.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking to work with people who would partner with me in business as opposed to trying to manage me like an artist. Do you know what I mean? Like, I need somebody who's going to help me build the enterprise of what it is. That's my goal. That's what I would like to do next. Yeah. So I would want to have like a general manager of like a staff of people as opposed to like a manager. Does that make sense?
That makes complete sense.
So that means maybe even going with an agency, like having an agent for all those deals and whatever. Like that. Is that what you're looking for?
I think I would be my own agency. Nomuzi Mabena Music would be the agency. You know, we will obviously always take work. Like I have such great connections with people. Like Isbuda gets a call, he calling me, we get that bag. You know, Jordan. There's so many different agencies that we work with. Capacity, like you know how the agency thing is set up. You know, where jobs come, you don't have to have a full contract with them, but the opportunities to work are there. And I think that kind of makes it a lot more easy for me to be fully in charge of everything.
Oh, makes sense, man. And I think you also know a lot of talent. And that's also another thing about you is that you've always had like your ear to the ground in terms of who's next and who's doing some dope shit. So I really look forward to see how you take talent under your wing as well and see how you develop it as well, because you really have a knack for that from a visual perspective. Like there's photographers that I didn't even know about and you'd be like, yo, this brood, he's too much. Watch out for this dude. And those photographers are like big shit now. You know what I mean? So I do think even from a producer level, like, you know, how you collaborate with artists, you know, how you've worked with Candy Coated, you know what I mean? Before people were even messing with Candy Coated.
Even like the other homie that you had living at your crib even, like was working out your studio.
You know what I mean? So like I'm really keen to see like what that manifests into.
Yeah, for me, like I'm trying to get into creative solutions.
Yeah.
That's really my vibe. Like I'm 30. Like I'm really not trying to be at the club all the time.
Like 30s old.
I'm like, no, that's not old. But like when you've been doing it for this long, and I came out like twerking on the speaker at 19. Like I came out busting.
Yo, man, you came out twerking for
Snoop. Like I really like went hard. Like I wanna, especially after COVID, and I think that's why the creative director thing has taken off in the way that it is. In COVID, I really realized like, yo, the world is going to close. Anything can happen. Like anything can happen. And I want to just be in a position where I have a business that can provide creative solutions in the industry, whether it's for artists, whether it's for brands, you know, we just provide creative solutions. And I think our number one client is Moozlie, you know?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Shit, I like this mogul peaceful.
This mogul talk.
Yeah.
The peaceful era.
I'm praying, yo.
What's the team looking like now? Have you assembled or?
I haven't like really locked one person down who I would say is that person. There is a few people. I'm gonna really just put her on blast right now. Like I'm really trying to work with Bianca. Like Bianca, call me.
Which Bianca?
Bianca Naidu.
Oh. Yeah, Secret Life of B.
Like, I'm really trying to work with Bianca and Jody. Like, I'm really trying to make them take me to the top. But that's somebody who I'm really interested in working with. And then I have Musa, who like runs my day-to-day. And then it's just me. I'm the boss getting it done. And we outsource a lot of things. Like I work with a lot of content creators, a lot of photographers. Like we just outsource a lot of things. We outsource like every little thing. And I think because I also like to work with people who are the Moozlies of what they do. I'm really not trying to son a person. I know there's so many people like, I want to be a photographer. I'll do it for free. Like, I'm not trying to do that to a person. Like, you are at your best. You come hard when you're like at your own boss level. Like, when you match my energy, when I'm talking to you, it's like boss to boss. It's not like, you're my worker and you must execute. That doesn't make fire. You know, that's when it's just like about getting the job done. Like, I'm really like about collaborating. When I think about, you know, even the shooters that I work with, like my personal photographer, Debucho, who does me on the road and stuff, like he's really brilliant. He's amazing. And he's now gone on, he's working with a cell phone brand. He's like doing so many exciting things. There's JR Echo, who's like a creative visionary. He's amazing, doing so many exciting things. There's Black Natives, amazing. Like, I just really like to collaborate with people who are like doing their thing as well, you know?
And there's that nigga who spoke highly of, well, you and Zbood at that time, when we're last year at some event, he manages 2 girls now. That nigga from the Val.
Oh,
Yeah,
I forget his name.
Askis, my nigga, I forgot your name, but he spoke highly of you guys and like just the way you guys. I think he was on the road with them, né? Yeah, road managing and stuff.
Fanele.
Yeah, he spoke very well of you guys. Yeah.
No, we had a great run. Like me and Spudo were amazing. I think the respect and love will always be there. But it's time to move on.
It's my banner time. It's my banner time. Oh man, like we're looking forward to more my banner shit, more my banner music, more my banner creations.
Yeah.
Keen to see your take on television, you know. So yeah, man.
Yeah, I think for me, like with what I'm trying to do with that is just really get into the heart of the people. I shot a really cool Cotton Fest special, just getting behind the festival and talking about what actually goes into it.
Fire.
And that's something more I want to do. So the next one I'm going to do is Questa. I'm hosting his show, and then we'll be able to just tell the Questa story, where he came from, how he does his thing. Hoping I could do Focalistic as well, just putting that out there. And just like talk about the work that people do. And I'd love to like do Zinhle as well, because people know she works hard and she's a boss, but like...
Oh, we love Zinhle.
Guys, you don't know. She's a beast. She's a beast. I'd love to do Waffles as well, because it absolutely cannot be easy to be like... at that level,
you know, the thing about it is everything that you're saying right now, you just said it, and somebody watching, they can just, execute that.
They're not gonna do it like me.
They're not gonna do it like you.
That's the beauty of it. We sometimes we keep things inside, but the more you believe in yourself, you realize that even if niggas try to do this shit, can never do it like me. Dog.
They can't do it like we do.
It will never be the same.
Like,
I think also just the relationships that I have with people.
Also, you can't just be giving niggas ideas at the same time.
You can't. But I think the relationships that I have with people, like, that's the homies. I think that's why I can come to a platform like this and say, hi, guys, I'm disgruntled. I'm tired. But if you catch me on like Metro FM, be like, yo, we out here, we fronting, you know? So the relationships that you have with people, you get the best stories, you get the best side of them. And I think over the last 10 years, that's one thing, besides the swagger and the grace. You know, the network is too crazy. Like, as an artist, as a presenter, I've worked with so many people. It's wild. It's wild.
The swagger.
Has anybody ever
and
told
the
you that
grace.
you and Zinhle look alike?
I get that a lot now.
That's because y'all be hanging together for so long.
People do say
You
that.
hang with people long enough, you start looking like
But
them.
people always say I look like different people. Sometimes it's Miss Cosmo,
you start
sometimes it's
taking their
Tabzi,
surname.
sometimes it's Kamumpela. When I go to the hood, the kids are like, yo, Kamumpela! Really? All the time.
Damn.
I can see Tabzi
All
as
fly
well a
people
bit,
though. So you good.
Right? That's what I like about it.
Tabzi.
Yeah, I can see it a bit. Yeah.
I don't know Tabzi.
Nyasfelana.
Oh, yeah. I guess.
Terrible!
Terrible and Terabelle, dog. Terrible and Terabelle. Terrible and Terabelle,
No, I
dog.
know the name, I just can't remember
Yeah,
what she
she's
looks
fire,
like.
man.
Yeah, she's dope
Yeah,
too.
she's really dope.
I've
Really
got
dope.
like the most fire friends.
You do.
Like Pearl Tusi, Zinhle, Tabzi,
Shout out to Pearl
Yolanda, Miss Cosmo, Rouge, Nadia, and my squad. That
shout out
first
to
video
Zinhle.
gonna be crazy. When I'm answering the question of where you been, I've been with some bad bitches. Your favorite rapper could never.
Doing some bad bitch shit.
Hey, that's the clip.
Yo, what you mean? I mean, what's up, damn?
Your favorite rapper could never. I be with some bad bitches. Your favorite rapper could never. Yo.
Could never.
It could never. Yo, man, that's fire, man. Yo, man.
I love it.
I love it, man. Thank you for blessing us,
Thank
yo.
you.
Like,
I
yo,
appreciate
man.
you.
This
Thanks
is
for having
Good to
me.
touch base, man. It's been
Yeah,
a while.
man.
And we
It's
just
been a while.
At least now we know what Moozlie's doing.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
And I was feeling a bit like, what am I gonna say? But I think as creatives, it's okay to just be in a space where you're just like figuring it out. I don't think we talk enough about those stages.
Preach.
It's always
It's
like
frowned
the
upon a
end
lot.
goal. Like, what are you working on? When is it coming out? Like, bro, if you're an artist and you're just trying to get through, that's okay.
Yeah, man. And also how you
That's
walk,
okay.
how you walk in is not necessarily how you're supposed to stay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, so just show up. I mean, I was feeling a bit in the beginning, but then I came alive. So just show up, man. Just show up. Just show
That's
up.
half the battle.
Man,
Show
thank
up.
you,
Show
man.
up.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I really
Appreciate
think,
it.
yo, you setting a very, very dope example as well. Like for real, people that are watching you, I think they can learn a lot. And I really think that's why it's important for us to have conversations with a Moozlie, to relay all the shit that she's doing, all the tribulations and trials that she's facing, so that people can know that they can get through that shit.
Yeah.
And there's like other ways of doing shit.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And also tapping into all of the superpowers that you may not know you have, you know? You didn't know you have this creative directing superpower until like COVID brought it out of you. You know what I mean? And you're so fire at it. And it's crazy because it's even like presented by you. Just walking, you're just like, man, how did Moozlie put that shit together? Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, yo, man, it's fire. Yo, we really appreciate it, yo.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yo, man.
And I appreciate you guys too, man. Stay shining,
man,
guys.
thank you. I mean,
We try.
you put a light on us when
My nigga.
I mean, at the listening session and stuff, you know.
Yeah, at the AK listening.
Yeah, man, that was like, okay, cool, man. Shout out, man. That,
Oh my
that
gosh,
felt
you guys
good.
are so inside the culture. Like, you guys are a thing.
Appreciate
Like, you guys are a thing. I was even like, this morning when I was praying, like, thank you so much for the opportunities. Like, there are artists out there who like put out mad records and they just like try to sit on this couch, and by the grace of God, I ain't done shit and I'm still here.
Yeah.
Like, God is good. And it like to be on here is really, really amazing. You guys are doing your thing.
you.
Thank you.
Keep growing, keep shining, more sponsors, more growth.
Aish.
Like, you know, do your
Definitely.
thing. Do your
From
thing.
your mouth to God's
person.
ears,
Gotta
man.
call it, you know what I'm
You know what I
saying?
mean?
From your
Yeah.
lips to God's ears, yo.
Come on,
Thank
man.
you so much, man. Ladies and gentlemen, that's been Nomuzi. But you know, tonight, I mean, not tonight, today, I'm gonna let you handle the shout out, man. You know what time it is.
Yo. Happy birthday, moms. Shout
Shout
out
out.
to you.
Yeah, man. We out. Salud.